Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you, Dawn, for agreeing to do this. I've been looking forward to this, and I know my students have been asking along the way about accreditation. Does it matter? Why it matters? And really what's in it for them and their clients? And because coaching's such a grey area, and one of the things that really impressed me about what you do are the values that you stand for and the way that your leaders in making sure the accreditation standards are kept up to par. So I obviously have the Soul Awakening Academy. I'm about to run another course, and I get asked quite a lot when people are looking for courses and, they're going to part with a substantial amount of money and it's an investment in them. They want to make sure that they're kind of putting the money in the right place. One of the great things about you are your stringent kind of criteria when I put my course through to gain my level 4 accreditation status with you. So I'd really, just for the benefit of the potential students and the already students watching, just tell me a bit more about, why accreditation matters.
Sure. Well, firstly, thank you very much, Anne-Marie, for inviting me to come along and talk to your students. So I hope a lot of people will get some great value out of this short presentation.
Yeah.
So the first issue, as you quite rightly say, is around confusion about the importance of accreditation. So I think the first thing to discuss is, what is the difference between accreditation versus certification?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is that the students who have come on your course are going to get a certificate. And people who come for personal, professional accreditation with us will get another certificate, but it's an accreditation certificate. So accreditation is one step higher than certification. So as I've said here on the example, people go to universities all around the world, they receive their degrees, which is a form of certification, though the universities and the training providers like the Soul Awakening Academy have themselves put their courses through accreditation, so that the qualifications, the standard of the course they're offering is best in class. So that's the difference.
Okay, fantastic.
So students who come on your course are probably considering various key factors. One of them is, do you have that sort of quality kite mark? Is it accredited? And that's the same sort of mindset I want the students to think about when they come out of your course with a certificate, is what are their clients going to be looking for? What sort of kite marks are available to help them stand out so that clients can identify them as best in class? So it's a massive differentiator, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail.
Great. So why your accreditation status matters? Why does it matter in your opinion, Dawn?
Well, just sort of linking on from that last slide, Anne-Marie, it is fundamentally the best differentiator you can have between you, who is professionally, properly trained, insured and professionally accredited, versus somebody who perhaps has gone on a weekend course and bought a degree or a certificate of some kind and hasn't invested in themselves. They're not properly trained, they're not insured, and they're not accredited. And increasingly the public are coming to our website and saying, I'm considering hiring this coach or mentor, are they accredited? So I send them to our directory, and they are encouraged to select somebody from the directory because that is the industry standard. So it provides the public, the hiring public, a minimum standard. So it's about formally recognizing a person's training, their certification, their experience, the capability, credibility, integrity, that they are committed to the industry standards and ethics. They've signed the code of professional conduct. And very much like when you went through the process, Anne-Marie, you've had all of that experience validated, you've had your paperwork trail authenticated, and you actually had to go through a live coaching assessment experience because it's all about the capability. Let's face it, we're in the business of having a conversation, aren't we? So there's no point in writing an essay. Anybody can write an essay on it. It's can you actually deliver the end results? And then I suppose the other reason why we believe your accreditation status matters, not just to you and your business, but more importantly to the public, is because it proves you care about supporting them and protecting their needs and their rights. So if I was going to spend my hard-earned cash on whether it was a colonic therapist, a hairdresser, an accountant, a driving instructor, I want to go to somebody who's the best I can possibly afford. And where do you find somebody? You go to a directory that has a list of registered, authenticated, accredited practitioners.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so the value added benefits for the students and their return on investment, what can you tell?
It's huge. I mean, obviously, accreditation is what we do. We're the accreditation authority for the industry. And over and above that, in the last couple of years, we've started to build a huge range of value added benefits. So if I just point to the leaflet here in the middle, which is a downloadable, evolving leaflet that you can access on the website, it's got everything in there. But I would essentially split it into two key things. On the left here, you've got the business of coaching, complimentary self-teach, 12-month business building e-program. So it's something that we've designed because what we recognized, Anne-Marie, is that students will come out of a training provider potentially with fantastic coaching results, you know, distinctions, but they lack the business acumen. They lack the confidence to actually turn what could just end up being a very expensive hobby into a thriving practice. So this is a self-teach complimentary program, and you can pick any of the 12 modules that you want. And we've also dug a little bit deeper for those more established coaches and mentors who are perhaps struggling 18 months in. But we've invited some excellent expert speakers in particular fields, whether it's branding, whether it's finance, whether it's marketing. And so that's one ongoing program. The other aspect is the CPD. You know, we can't stand still just because we've, you know, got a distinction from our coaching provider. CPD is very important because we are here for the life of a coach. So they tend to come in from your academy as a practitioner, Anne-Marie, but we want them to develop their skills, whether they come back to you for up training or they just want to upgrade their skills because they've got the practical experience. So practitioner to senior to master to fellow. And with that, they get an action checklist that will help them not only orientate themselves around the website, but also it plays a big part of their marketing strategy. How do I get myself out there? How do I stand out in what is a very crowded market? I mean, let's face it, the UK has 130,000 people calling themselves coaches. No. So, you know, you want to be best in class, or as I call it, the 1% club, because literally 1% in the UK of coaches are accredited.
Right, wow.
And then just some extra things. We've just brought out our first book. So we're super excited about how to win and keep clients happy. So it's a must-have for new solopreneurs, packed with success strategies. And then to keep our members up to date with everything that's going on in terms of CPD benefit, business building, discounts from our solution partners, you know, perhaps it's a discounted website or discounted insurance and so on. Your weekly bulletin is going to keep you up to date.
Excellent. Okay, so the accreditation process itself, what do the students have to go through? Now, with our discussion last week, it's fantastic that the students can apply to you for accreditation straight away, so they don't have to wait until they've completed the course, passed, or even done any formal coaching. They can get through your door and receive some benefits as soon as they start the journey. Is that right?
Yes, as soon as they've made their payment, that it's automated, so they just go online, you will give them the link, and once they've made that payment, it's currently £195. In a couple of weeks' time, on the 16th of September, we're having our first big increase. In some time, it's going to go up to £295. So if your past, present, or even your future students want to save money, now is the time to apply for your accreditation, because as you quite rightly say, you can do that at any stage of the training. So make your payment online. £195. You will then receive an email from the accreditation team detailing everything that you need to do in terms of providing your evidence portfolio. So that's things like, we want you to sign the professional code of conduct, we want you to fill out the standards and ethics questionnaire, we want you to submit your coaching log. So obviously they're going to do a certain amount of hours while they're on your course, Anne-Marie. They'll also do a certain amount of hours practice pro bono. And incidentally, I do have a growing list of people who want reciprocal practice. So if any of your students need more people to practice on, I can put them in touch with over a dozen other people who want, you know, that sort of relationship. And also we have clients who want pro bono coaching. So at the moment, I've got Christian Aid looking for lots of coaches who want to offer pro bono coaching or practice, because it's part of their core values of volunteering. So we have opportunities as well.
Yeah, fantastic.
Essentially, you either give your students a call log or they can download hours, and they will have to have 60 hours on their log before they can book their 30-minute assessment call. Following which they will complete a self-reflection, and essentially that is it. You know, obviously they'll need your certificate and so on, and then on successful completion they will get their logo and their certificate and their invite to upload their profile in the directory. It's valid for 3 years as long as they maintain their annual renewal. But as you quite rightly said, when can they apply? And they can apply at any time. So for a lot of students, they want to apply in conjunction with when they start their course. So they're learning the coach's technicality and the skills and the knowledge base, but at the same time, they can benefit from the CPD and business building resources. So when they've got their certificate from you and they can throw open the world, say, you know, throw open the doors and say, hey world, hire me, they've actually already got their business, rather than thinking, right, now I need to get a website, get some business cards, you know, design a complaints procedure, etc., etc. And incidentally, that's just one of the resources that we have already available for all our members. So a complaints procedure, code of conduct, a contract, adverts, lots of material is already professionally designed and there in the resources section for new students.
Oh, that's so good, because, you know, one of the big things now is about business building. You know, gone are the days when I first started a company, you'd put an advert in the yellow pages. You know, those days are over. So it's really good that they can benefit from day one, rather than go through the course and then have to worry about how am I actually going to start this business process. It's to kind of gear them up from the day that they start the course.
Exactly.
Tell me about the 60-hour log, so that they can be logging those hours during the course, my course, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can pay online to apply for their accreditation. So what we call them is their accreditation is in waiting until the key elements are they've got your certificate, they've got their 60 hours on the log, and incidentally, it can all be free coaching, because we recognize at this stage they can't necessarily charge a client, but maybe they charge 25% of the fee or a donation or something. So the 60 hours, your certificate, and then they can take their assessment call, their 30-minute live assessment call. It's not a recording, it's not a role play, but everything else they can benefit from that will help them, as you quite rightly say, is develop their business in line with their studies.
Yeah, that's really good, and that's a really good return on investment for them, I think, as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when you're waiting for clients to bang down your door, it's a time to wait actively. What am I going to be doing? Well, I could be writing for a blog. I could be gathering testimonials. Well, how do I do that? You know, they download our testimonial template. They've got to write a contract. Well, how do I do that? They download our contract. The same with the complaints procedure. I need to advertise. download our adverts. Everything is there to help them get started as quickly and as professionally as possible, all the while having this link with the authority that says, you know, I'm accredited in waiting, or I'm actually fully accredited.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dawn. That's really good. So just tell me about your future depends on what you do today.
Yeah, we love that quote from Gandhi. I kind of think whatever you're doing today is a reflection of what you're going to find yourself doing in 5 years' time, because the time flies by. So anybody who's serious about being considered as best in class really needs to up the ante. You know, obviously do really well on your course, build their coaching log. It's all about practice, and become professionally accredited as quickly as possible, so that you're going to get a huge number of opportunities that people who haven't gone down the accredited route don't have, like, you know, the pro bono work at some of our clients, like the professional marketing, like the discounted website and insurance, and so on. So, you know, the right time to join is now. And the thing to ask yourself, I suppose, if you're sat there listening to this recording is thinking, well, I'm not sure if I'm ready, is, well, if you're not ready now, when will you be? When is going to be the right time? And whenever you choose to do it and you find out what you've been missing, you're just going to think, oh, I wish that's so long ago.
Yeah, I know. No, that's really, really, really beneficial for them, I think, because I know I was speaking to a few girls earlier today. My course launches in September. One girl is a teacher at the moment, so, you know, accreditation, insurance, that means a lot to her. So this will really benefit her understanding about the accreditation process that they can apply now. But what about insurance as well, Dawn? What would you say on that point?
Yep, I would say that in countries where insurance is standard, like the UK, I would definitely do it. You know, you've just spent a huge amount of sum of money on your professional training. What's another 120 or so on insurance for the massive amount of peace of mind? One of the biggest fears new coaches have is of making a mistake, of ruining somebody's life, of saying the wrong thing, and so on. And being insured obviously just gets rid of all of that fear, because the insurance company, in the event that there is a complaint, and luckily they're few and far between, but you know, we're never that far behind the American market, and it is a sue culture in America. So, you know, for that extra little peace of mind, in the event that somebody does want to take some action against you, you know, £120 a year or something, that's probably, I don't know, £2 a day. You can't buy a coffee or something for that, can you? But why wouldn't you? So yeah, I would always say, and this is a question actually, Anne-Marie, and I get asked a lot. You know, I've spent a huge amount of money on my professional training. I see on the website so many offers. Spend another couple of hundred and I will show you how to get 6 figures. There are vast number on social media of organizations ready to help you part with your money. I would say, and this is what I do say to anybody who asks me, pay for the best training you can afford. Pay for your insurance if you're in a country that has insurance. There are lots of countries where we are in all around the world with our members where they've never heard of insurance and it's just not commonplace. But in countries like Australia, Canada, America, England, where it is available, do it. And then obviously the third thing is get yourself professionally accredited, because of the huge CPD and business building. That's just one side, but it's that differentiator that will help you be recognized, so that your clients can identify you as somebody that they want to work with because they trust you. And then anything else, like a fancy website, business cards, logos, I would say, and certainly these offers on the website, if it, you know, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Don't part with your hard-earned cash. Don't spend money you haven't earned from coaching. You know, set it up as a business. When you feel that you've earned some money from coaching, then you can think, right, do I want to spend this on a virtual assistant? Do I want to spend it on marketing help? Do I want to spend it on a website? Don't just give your hard-earned cash or your savings, because you're not earning any money yet, to all of these marketeers who are trained to help you part with your money, and you'll never earn this six-figure salary in 3-4 months or whatever they're promising. If it was that easy, they wouldn't be advertising it all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. What advice could we give them about CPD? Because some people won't have heard of CPD, and I know you do a lot now. You're really really great with the resources that you have and the webinars and the people that you're having on to provide some. And I know I'm doing one for you in a couple of months, but what can you tell the students about CPD? How should they log it? How many points do they need to get, if you like, or what do they need to prove to you?
Yeah, well, firstly, we do it in hours, so it's really simple. Again, they can either download the form from you, or they can download it from us. But essentially, at practitioner level, they don't need it. Okay. It's when they go to senior and then to master and to fellow, they need to demonstrate that they've had CPD. So that's continuous professional development. Yeah. So what we want to say is, okay, you've come out of your Soul Academy, Soul Awakening Academy with great grades. How are you going to maintain that? How are you going to stay totally aware of what's going on in the market? How are you going to keep your skill set fresh? Yeah. So the way that you do that is you go on our webinars with all the guest speakers that we have. You go on Anne-Marie's guest speaking webinars. You read coaching classic books. You go onto YouTube and you read coaching books, etc. All of that is CPD. Anything at all that keeps you fresh and relevant. You just write it down on your log, and all you need to demonstrate is 30 hours a year. I mean, that is nothing. That's like one weekend if you were going to go back to back, which is not what we recommend, but 30 hours. So it's just a small amount, but really people get very addicted to CPD. So 30 hours is just a doddle.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent. Thanks, Dawn.
Any other questions, Anne-Marie?
So just going back to the insurance, because I know a question was raised today.
Yes.
Did you say there's a discount available with?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Westminster Insurance. So they would go onto our website, and they would obviously, it's for the accredited practitioners or the practitioners in waiting. They can benefit from a 20% discount, and just use the link on the website.
And would you recommend them get student insurance? Is it classed as student insurance? Is it?
It's just coach insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the minute they start coaching, they're perceived as a practitioner. I don't think Westminster differentiate between the students and the full blown. I think it's kind of like a flat rate, unless you've got other things that you want them to add in, like your NLP or your therapy or whatever other practice that you do.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Thank you, Dawn. I don't think I have any other questions.
All right, well, if anybody does, they can contact me on my email address there, dawn@coach-accreditation.services. Or they can send me a message through the chat box on Coach Accreditation Services website. But I hope if anybody has any questions or any considerations as to whether this is right for them, that they'll talk to you or they'll talk to me, and we can allay those and save them £200 because, as I say, the price is going up mid-September. So take action now.
Great, and I will post this recording to everybody as well so they don't miss out.
Lovely. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk to your students, Anne-Marie. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure, Dawn. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.